Welcome to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. My name is Matt Medsel, being joined by women's soccer senior midfielder Anna Gong, as we will focus on both women's soccer and ACHA hockey this week with some big home dates for both programs here on the Concordia campus. But Anna, let's start by talking about women's soccer. Great start in conference play, off to a 4-0 beginning overall with 6 victories and 3 defeats. When you look at the way the conference season has started, what's been working for the women's soccer team?
I think this year we've had a lot of success in working as a team and getting over the mental setbacks we've had. So last year there were quite a few losses that we weren't expecting. So this year, instead of focusing on the past, we learned how to move past the challenges and work together.
You talk about working together. You look at the roster, there are 9 seniors on top of a number of newcomers. How has that chemistry been developing?
It's been going really well, honestly. I think having had at least 4 years together as these seniors, it really shows on the field, especially when the majority of our starters are seniors, so you can just see that the chemistry that's built up over the last couple seasons.
How about for you? You're kind of the link between the offense, the defense, and that midfield. How have you seen the offense developing?
This year we've definitely had a lot more scoring opportunities, and the fact that we've been able to finish those opportunities is the main difference from our previous season, which is really exciting.
And it seems like when in doubt, give the ball to Bella Rapp. She seems to have a knack for finding the back of the net. She has scored already 5 times on the season. But how about from a defensive standpoint, too? It seems like the defense, a lot of experience on that back line.
Yeah, our back line is really strong right now, and I think the fact that Bella Rapp is our leading scorer says a lot. Even if our forwards aren't our main scorers right now, the system that we have relies a lot on the ability to play back and finish from there.
I know I've talked to other players on the team, asked the same question. I'll ask you the same. Talk about the non-conference schedule. And how did that help prepare you guys for the conference?
I think the non-conference schedule was challenging, but it helped us learn what we know about ourselves as a team and the areas in which we can grow. There were a few losses that I definitely think we could have changed the outcome of. Just didn't get the results that we wanted. So gives us hope for the rest of the season.
And it feels like a big emphasis was getting off the stronger starts you guys have here in conference play. You look at this past week, coming off a victory against Wisconsin Lutheran by a 2-1 score. Strong start in that one. In your opinion, what was the difference against the Warriors?
The difference against the Warriors, I'd say, was, we were missing some key players, so just being able to get the win out of the different circumstances that are against us. So we played on a grass field, and that's definitely not what we've been practicing on, so being able to get the result despite the challenges was huge.
And then on Sunday, a matchup against Rockford, got the victory by a 2-0 score over the Regents. In your opinion, how were you guys able to control that matchup?
So that matchup was also another challenge with the grass field. So I think getting to play WLC previously on a grass field helped us to learn how we have to change our style of play and just push through and get the win.
Let's talk about the week ahead. It's a very big week for the women's soccer team. Again, they've won 4 consecutive. Last year, this was the week that kind of tripped the team up, and so now trying to right the ship as you have matchups against St. Norbert College on Wednesday from Fitting Field, where they kick off at 4 o'clock. Also, a matchup against IIT, the NAC preseason favorites, coming up on Saturday at 3:30. Get your thoughts on those 2 matchups. I know you take it one match at a time.
We definitely do take it one match at a time. I think this will be a really challenging week for us, but I'm excited to see the outcomes of the games. I think we have a lot of potential to win both of them, especially with the specific systems that we're playing.
You look right now, St. Norbert with a conference record of a couple of victories, a couple of defeats. IIT is off to a 3-0 start in conference play. Finally, for you as a senior, what are you looking forward to here this season as you continue on? What goals have you set for yourself as you go through your final stretch of soccer?
Yeah, this being my last season, I think I definitely just want to make the most of it, hopefully get the result of the season that we wanted. So last year was my 4th year, and this is my 5th. So last year the results weren't exactly what I wanted. This year I wanted our season to get the most out of the season, and a personal goal for me is to score a few more, at least get a few more assists.
1 assist already. That came against Aurora. Anna, as always, thanks a lot for your time. All the best of the women's soccer team.
I can't imagine being any other profession than an orthopedic surgeon. We have the privilege and we have the responsibility to make people better. We've been fortunate enough to take care of professional athletes. We've also been fortunate enough to take care of our neighbors and friends who trust us to give them back their life.
One of the main reasons I came here was because this is the way healthcare is meant to be delivered. Being devoted exclusively to orthopedic care means that we can focus on delivering specialized care for every patient. And that includes not only the surgeons and the physicians, but also anesthesia, controlling pain, the nurses, and the scrub techs, and everyone in recovery is dedicated to treating conditions that are very similar for people.
Our tagline is an uncommon focus on you. We think the focus on the patient experience is what sets us apart. Before we make any process or clinical decision at the hospital, we start with the same question: is this what's best for the patient? If we can't answer yes, we move on to the next idea. Our nurses provide care for no more than 3 patients per shift, whereas other facilities, they might provide care for 7 or even 8 patients per shift. We think this personalized care is what sets us apart from others.
I think that dedication to our patients is our #1 focus. And you can technically do a good operation, but if you're not centered on the patient, they're not necessarily going to have a great outcome.
The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is physician-owned. It's physician-led. We have the responsibility to make the right decision for every patient. We also have the freedom to make the right decision for every patient.
Physicians and staff collaborate through regular meetings, weekly and monthly, and with a relatively small team, we're able to change the way we do things if we need to tweak something to make it perfect.
The facility specifically was designed so that quality could be measured and maintained and sustained. When you have 7,000 patients a year receive their surgery here, it's important that patient number 1 and patient number 7,000 receive the same care.
We place an extremely high priority on the patient experience here. We send surveys to each and every person that receives care at our hospital. Those survey results come back directly to me. I review them and share them with our senior leadership, as well as the staff and the physicians that provide the care to those patients.
There's almost 5,000 hospitals in the country that are measured. The Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin measures number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not runner-up, number 1 in patient satisfaction in the state of Wisconsin for the last 10 years running.
Welcome back to This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Our focus now on ACHA hockey, being joined by senior forward Tommy Castle, as the ACHA hockey team off to a 2-1 start. Big weekend at the Ozaki Ice Center for the first time, hosting the CUW Showcase and some big matchups, which will include the defending Division II ACHA national champion Indiana Hoosiers in town. But let's first talk about the first couple of weeks of the season. Guys began the year with a victory against MSOE back on the 11th of September by a 4-0 final. What was the difference of that season opener?
It was a rough season opener, to be honest with you. We didn't play systems too well, but I think through transitioning and practicing, we were able to really develop and stick to strategies better versus Madison. So we were able to really, just get things together and follow strategy. And
it seemed like against MSOE, you guys got better though as the game went on, and certainly the power play was a big help. Do you tend to expect that though in that season opener? Does that seem to always be the case year after year, where maybe it takes a little while to get back into the flow with things?
Yeah, especially with new guys too. It takes a little bit of time to gel and figure out what does work and what doesn't work, especially in the power play. We have a couple guys that haven't been on the power play that are new this year, so it's going to take time for us to gel together and develop as a team. So
you mentioned that series against the Wisconsin Badgers and beating Wisconsin 5-4 at the Ozaki Ice Center on September the 20th. You had a couple of goals in that contest. The energy seemed to be very high early on.
Yeah, that's one of the things our coach tells us, is to bring the energy, start fast, start hard. So, we want to get the pucks in deep, get as hard as we can on their defense, and get as many goals as we can in the first 5 minutes of the game. So,
the very next day was a loss in Madison by the final score of 6-4. What did you feel was the difference in that second meeting?
We had a couple of issues with adversity. I wasn't in the lineup, unfortunately. We had to switch positions. We had, new guys trying new positions. We started our backup goaltender, but he played really good. So overall, we played good that game. A couple bounces that just couldn't go our way. But I still think we played really well that weekend.
So overall, now 3 games in, is there the chemistry is developing? Is it all coming together in your opinion?
Yeah, compared from MSOE to Badgers, I think we've made a tremendous stride. You know, everyone's thinking to their roles on the team. That's something we preach a lot in this team. And, you know, going to work every day, making sure we're doing the right things to stay, you know, mentally and physically healthy for every game. So.
And you don't get many breaks during the course of the season outside of, you know, that late part of December into January. But you look, this past week, no games. So what's been the focus of practice with maybe an extra week to prepare for this showcase?
I think just getting our bodies and minds right, you know, consider, like you said, we have a lot of games this season. Just being able to have 3-game weekends, because like in nationals especially, you play 3 games, hard games against top teams in the nation. You got to be prepared. So just being mentally ready to just do simple hockey, be in, you know, good right of mind, and be physically ready to just compete.
Let's talk about that showcase. A heck of a 3 days at the Ozaki Ice Center. 6 hockey games over the 3 days. And it starts for the Falcons on Friday against Liberty at 5:30. Then the aforementioned defending national champs in Indiana on Saturday at 4:30. St. Thomas at 12 noon on Sunday. Your thoughts on the opportunity for the Falcons this weekend?
I think it's going to be a huge, you know, test for us to see which path we take for the rest of the year. Like you said, the Indiana Hoosiers are going to be a really tough competition. We played them last year, and, you know, playing them for our first game, I feel like we were playing a team that played together for like a year. They were really coherent, really cohesive, and, you know, they had talent, but they were also really aggressive and skilled. The other 2 teams, you know, aren't as skilled, but they're very, you know, strategy-wise, you know, grit hockey. They like to play hard, they like to play fast. So, you know, as long as we stick to our game plan, be simple, you know, don't do too much, but stick to our roles, we'll be fine this weekend. Should
be a lot of fun. You can check out CWFalcons.com for more information on the weekend that will be at the Ozaki Ice Center. Finally, for you as a senior, what's your approach to this final go-around, so to speak?
Honestly, just have fun, you know. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. Just stick to what you're doing and just be happy and have fun.
Tommy, all the best to you and the ACHA hockey team this weekend.
Thank you.
And this week for Falcon Athletics, some of the other highlights include the men's soccer team will be on the road at St. Norbert coming up on Wednesday, host IIT on Saturday at 1 p.m. Women's tennis is a very busy week Wednesday at Concordia, Chicago, on top of the fact they will host Edgewood and Marion on Saturday. Thursday, women's volleyball is here inside the newly renovated John Book Fieldhouse. It's the Dig Pink Night against Marion at 7 o'clock, hosting IIT on Saturday at 12 noon. And then football is back in action after winning their conference opener on Saturday at Benedictine. They will be at St. Norbert College Saturday at noon. Be sure to check out CUWFalcons.com for all of the week's happenings in Falcon Athletics. Thanks for joining us this week for This Week in Falcons Athletics, presented by Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.